Some places are cursed, hidden in shadows where sunlight never reaches. The hill where the sun never shines tells the terrifying story of David, a weather officer sent to a lonely island off the American coast. What seemed like a simple assignment quickly turns into a nightmare when he discovers he isn't alone. Strange creatures crawl from the sea at night, knocking on doors, clawing at walls, and whispering in the darkness. With only a diary for guidance and an old lighthouse keeper for help, David faces the horrifying truth: this island belongs to something inhuman. Once the sun sets, survival is no longer guaranteed. Step into the shadows and experience a story that will haunt your nights long after it ends. Presented by Dark Zone. Like, comment, and subscribe for more horror every week. Thin, too bony-ridged for his feet, David stumbled back in horror. The door burst open, and a creature ducked inside. Its body was bent, its skin slick with scales. Its eyes glowed like drowned lanterns. With a scream, David plunged a knife into its face, stabbing one of its eyes. The monster shrieked and scrambled back into the sea. His heart raced as he slammed the door shut. The diary was real. Robert hadn't been mad, he had been hunted. The following day, David went to the lighthouse to confront Gruner. The old man was wild-eyed, surrounded by weapons and strange carvings etched into the stone walls. "You saw them," Gruner rasped. "Now they won't stop. You bleed, you breathe, they smell you. This place isn't ours, it's theirs." David begged for answers, but Gruner only warned him, "Never look away when they're near. If you blink too long, there'll be two of them." That night, David tried to sleep, but the knocking returned, this time at the windows, the walls, the roof. Shadows moved outside, their shapes circling the house. He fired his gun, but the bullets only scattered them. Their whispers seeped into his head, words he couldn't understand but felt deep in his bones. Days passed, the attacks grew worse. The creatures came in larger numbers, scratching, pounding, climbing onto the roof. One night, they flooded the house. David barely escaped, running barefoot across the rocks to the lighthouse. Gruner pulled him inside just as dozens of pale hands clawed at the door. "You can't fight them forever," Gruner hissed. "They want the island back. They want us gone." Inside the lighthouse, David found more diaries, Robert's, Gruner's, even older ones. Every generation of keepers had written about the same creatures. They called them Aneris, born from the ocean's darkest trenches. They crawled to land only where sunlight never touched, and the hill behind the lighthouse, the place where the sun never shone, was their nest. One stormy night, the final assault began. Waves pounded the island, and the creatures came with the tide. Hundreds of glowing eyes stared from the shoreline. Gruner and David fought like madmen, firing guns, lighting flames, stabbing until their hands bled. The lighthouse shook as Aneris swarmed up its sides, clawing at the windows. Gruner screamed, "Burn them all," and threw a torch into the oil barrels. Fire exploded across the beach, consuming dozens of creatures, but it wasn't enough. They kept coming. David grabbed the last barrel, rolled it down the hill, and ignited it. Flames roared up, lighting the hill where the sun never shined. For the first time, David saw the truth. Thousands of pale bodies, writhing in the shadows, waiting for centuries. He realized then this was not a fight, it was a warning. Humanity was only borrowing this land. The next morning, the island was silent, Gruner was gone, the house was in ruins. David wrote his final entry in the diary before the rescue boat arrived. "The sun may not shine here, but something else does. If you hear knocking at night, do not answer. If you value your soul, never step on the hill where the sun never shines."